phones. Leo, good morning.
Morning.
Now, you play for Newcastle women's team.
Yeah.
And are you playing for the team at the moment?
I am, yeah.
Been with them for a while.
Yeah, about 4 years now.
So how did you get into football then?
Well, my best friend growing up was a lad, and we used to just kick the ball around the street just for something to do, really. Didn't actually start joining the team until I was 16, and ever since I love it, so I never looked back ever since that.
So talk me through the training then. It's obviously weekly, and then you play your games at the weekend.
It is, yeah. We train Tuesdays and Thursday nights, 8 till 10 at coach lane. We've got 4 main coaches. Obviously, me and Kayleigh play for reserves. We've got Gary Appleton and Jill that coach us. And then there's Warren and Michael who coach the first team.
Why do you think women's football gets less coverage on the telly?
I think it's mainly because there's less interest in it. Obviously, because of the ban for so long, it's like Polly said before, it's quite a lot of years behind. Obviously, the ban was introduced because women were discouraged to play after the war. They wanted women back, pretty much in the kitchen, to be honest. I know it's very typical, but that's where they wanted them. The FA said that it was unsuitable for women, so they wanted to discourage it.
You mentioned Kayleigh. Let's bring her in. Kayleigh Appleton, good morning.
Good morning.
You also play for Newcastle women's team.
Yes, I do.
And there was another, was it Gary Appleton's name was mentioned there? Is he any relation to you?
Yeah, he's my dad.
Your dad coaches the team?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Well, to be fair, he's sort of followed me around my footballing career. Most teams I've been, he's been a great part of, whether it's being a very sports parent, joining in things, or he's coached himself. So my last team that I was at before Newcastle, he was also the manager there. So it's nice to know that he's there, and obviously I like to make him proud more than anyone because he's my dad as well as my manager, so I quite like it.
One day in the future, would you like to see a day, and let's hope your dad's not listening, but where it was women who were managing all the women's team and the grounds were packed and full of lots of women and maybe some men?
Oh yeah, of course. I think obviously women's football isn't publicised and obviously known as much as men's. So obviously I'd love to see that. I think it'll be great.
How frustrating is that?
I think at the end of the day, men's, obviously with the history of obviously women's football and everything, men's football is obviously going to be in the forefront of everything. I mean men's football is going to be in the forefront of everything, but it is frustrating because obviously we don't get the credit of things of how well we do actually play. And obviously it's not really known to people to come and support us.
Yeah.
So.
The quality of men's football is very good. I was watching a Barcelona game the other night. Great to watch. Yeah. And it's interesting because they've almost taken the contact out of the sport. Yeah. So physically, I don't know whether one day men would ever play with women, but do you think that would ever be possible?
Well, obviously when we were younger, it was obviously we were able to play. I started out in a boys' team.
Did you?
Yeah. So we're playing with the boys in school. I was on the school football team. I was the only girl. So obviously, from the younger ages, it is possible. But I think as you get older, it is scientifically proven that men are stronger than women.
At what age? When did that change?
I think it was when I was hit about 10, 11-year-old. Then I joined an all-girls team, and then from there I've been involved with girls teams.
And Leo, just bringing you in again, which other sports do you like watching on telly, and do you prefer the men's or the women's version?
I'll watch any sport, mate. I'm a bit sport obsessed, but to be honest, even I'll play football and I'll back women's football all the way, but if it was a choice between a men's match and a women's match on the telly, I would actually go and watch the men's match.
If it was tennis, who would you rather watch? Roger Federer or Serena Williams?
Roger Federer.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think because just men's sports being advertised more, and obviously growing up, I've seen more men's sports on the telly, so it's just kind of what you're used to. I think now because telly and Polly was saying before, it is family orientated. I don't think it's going to change drastically in the next few years, but obviously getting kids there from a young age, they're going to get used to it, and that'll be what they brought up seeing. So I think when they're adults, they'll have a different opinion from what I've been brought up with.
When you hear the piece that we ran this morning about World War One and Blythe Spartans and Bella Ray, this 17-year-old young woman who scored so many goals and she's got all of these medals, and then it all disappeared. Do you think we'll get back to that, where the thousands of people going down to the football grounds and it was so well received? Do you think we'll get that again with women's football?
I would hope so, but I think it takes a really long time. Obviously, I think that mainly happened pretty much because, obviously, with the war being on, women kind of picked up what was needed from here. Like you mentioned, that book before, I read a quote from him saying that the 1914-15 season was actually abandoned by the men because they were all after war. So obviously, that kind of, it's given opportunity for women, and men went to just go and watch. Just because it was something they used to do, and obviously with the men's football not being on it, it left them with the women's.
Great to speak to you both. Thanks very much, Kayleigh Appleton and Leo Kennedy. I tell you what, let's have a